Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watch team is here with a tropical weather update. Today I'm going to be talking about Hurricane Hilary and its impacts to Baja California Peninsula and the southwestern United States. The major flooding that is going to unfold over this weekend and into early next week. This is really I think is really at its peak right here. You can really see earlier on we saw a lot more convection around the center. And as you can see, the intense convection has kind of died down. We're not seeing a lot of deep convection around the center. I think this is at about 140, 145 miles an hour right now. I think we've really seen this intensify and reach its peak intensity. I'm actually going to turn on some layers right here and kind of look at what we got here for its forecast track. So the light blue right here, that is the 34 knot wind radii. That is how the tropical storm force wind field. The yellow is 65 miles an hour wind radii, and the red is the hurricane force winds up to 74 miles an hour or stronger. So there it is, 145 mile per hour Category 4 hurricane. So they actually are expecting this to get a little bit stronger. Upwards of right now it's got winds. There you go. Here's our latest advisory here. As of advisory 8A, winds of 145 miles an hour. Those gusts are 175 miles an hour. It's currently moving west-northwest. It has currently got a minimum air pressure of 942 millibars. The lower that air pressure is, the lower that number is, the more intense these hurricanes are going to be. Again, you guys have the most powerful systems like Typhoon Tip in 1979, air pressure of 800 and I believe 870 millibars. Hurricane Patricia in 2015, 872 millibars. So again, we get some of the most powerful storms. That number is significantly lower, and some of the more. The average air pressure at sea level is 1,013.25 millibars, so that is significantly higher, by like 130 millibars from Typhoon Tip. And it's going to kind of generally go in this direction. Now, if this moves a little farther off to the west and makes landfall right in this area, right through here, we could be dealing with this storm making landfall in California, which, we're talking 75, 80 years since something like that has happened. It's been an incredibly long time since we've had a tropical storm make landfall in southwest United States and California. So that's what we're looking at with the satellite imagery. It is intensified. It has intensified. We think it might have reached its peak, but we're going to continue talking about the impacts from Hurricane Hilary into the southwestern United States. I actually just want to look at the East Pacific and a bigger view of what we're looking at here, a little bit easier. What are we looking at? As you can see, as we look over this entire area, we're already seeing some heavier thunderstorms there in northern Mexico there. Here in western Mexico, we're seeing those outer rain bands moving over those areas, so we are seeing some more significant impacts already. Heavy rain, flooding is probably already under its way. Big amounts of convection over northwestern Mexico already today. So already lots of heavy rain is already happening. As this makes its way into the southwest United States, 3 to 4 inches of rain. If you're from the eastern United States, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, 3 to 4 inches of rain, we can handle that. But in the southwest United States, 3 to 4 inches of rain can really cause a flood very fast. Especially during the monsoon seasons, you get heavy rain, you get out in those washouts. Those washouts are going to quickly full with water, and it can cause big problems very rapidly. So essentially it's a flash flood, and get 3 to 4 inches of rain. Isolated areas can get to 6 to 8 inches of rain. We could be dealing with some historical flooding with this storm here in the southwestern United States. want to look at models or forecasts? Models are different from forecasts. And we want to look at, can we look at rainfall? 24, I want to look at 24 hour. We just have precipitation totals. So there you go. As you can see here, of our precipitation totals, I'm actually going to get rid of this. Now this is bothering me. Excuse me. For just an idea, some isolated areas can see significantly more amounts of rain here. Again, there will be isolated areas that will see significantly more rain. As you can see here, 8-9 inches of rain are possible in some isolated areas, but generally we could see 3 to 4 inches of rain for generally Southern California. For the LA area, 1.5 to 2 inches of rain seems most likely. 1 to 2 inches of rain is most likely. Over where we think the center is going to move after it makes landfall, it's going to actually move probably really close, right through here. But because of that, the wet side is going to be off to the east. So you're going to have this entire area over here. All of this, it's not the best color to use. This entire area, so even if the center moves like this, all the wet stuff is going to be off to the east. Pink is like the worst color you can think of. So like, seriously, what's the worst color? Like even white would be better. You could probably see it better. But that's really what we're looking at here, is all of this heavy rain in this area, moving something like this. I'm just honestly guessing. But then you're going to have, it's going to be pulling in moisture from here. And then you're going to be trying to pull in just moisture, just pulling in moisture, pulling it through Baja California Peninsula this way. And that's why we are going to have this area right here is going to be a lot of heavy rain right in that area. To be pulling all that moisture with it up through Baja California Peninsula and into Southern California and southwestern United States. So again, I do think 4 to 5 inches of rain are possible. 6 to 8 inches of rain are going to be in isolated areas. Pocket here, pocket there, 10 inches isn't out of the question. Regardless, flash flood warnings are going to be very light, are going to be occurring through this area as this approaches and makes landfall. Okay, we already got tropical storm watches, tropical storm warnings across for Baja California Peninsula. Hurricane watch is now in effect because we do think, 36, 48 hours out, we could start seeing this beginning to approach and affecting this area. So we could be seeing tropical storm force winds and even hurricane force winds up to 74, 75, even 80 miles an hour. Hurricane conditions are possible. Heavy rain, flooding, and storm surges possible, and even some isolated tornadoes here or there aren't out of the question. Now, the really good example of tornadoes from a storm is Hurricane Harvey. In 2017, we had multiple tornado warnings in the Galveston and the Houston area as Hurricane Harvey made landfall there in Rockport, Texas. Multiple tornadoes that night and through the night. Probably my mouse is dying. That's my guess. So that's what we're looking at here with rain. Lots of heavy rain, lots of flooding here possible. Sustained winds. I'm not too worried about the sustained winds with this. I mean, yes, we are going to have obviously significantly strong winds from this hurricane. You can clearly see moving right there. I saw this. So even here, I mean, we could be seeing, if this were to make a landfall here in Baja California Peninsula, right along the coast because the winds. I'm gonna do some drawing. Because the winds go counterclockwise, so they're going to be moving in this direction. That's going to be an area of storm surge right here. If we're seeing 60, 70, 80 mile an hour winds, right in that area. 68, 70, 71, 72 mile an hour winds in that area, so we could be seeing some storm surge. But again, the biggest threat from this is going to be the heavy. It's going to be the the flooding from this. Wind, don't worry about it. Not going to be the biggest threat. Storm surge. There's going to be some storms. Again, there could be some storm surge, but the biggest threat from this storm is going to be the flooding. The strongest of this, the intensity is going to be well offshore. Okay, so it's 145 miles an hour right now, but it will not be 145 miles an hour when this storm makes landfall there in either Southern California or Northwest Mexico and Baja California Peninsula. So I'm still going to go over to models. Global model. GFS. And I want to see 24-hour precipitation. If we have this. That's winter. That's severe. And we have surface. We have total, which we just had 24 hours. That's not what I'm trying to do. But you can just use your keys here to move through. Here we are 24 hours out from now. You really can't even see where Baja California Peninsula is. It's actually not off the top of my head. Okay. I really want to look at, 66 hours out from now, really where the storm is at as it moves into Southern California, right in this area. This is what we're looking at here. 2-3 inches of rain. For Baja California Peninsula, we could be seeing 4, 6, 8 inches of rain. So when it's all said and done, I do think we could see, again, 6 to 8 inches of rain in some isolated areas. But generally what we're looking at, 2 to 4 inches of rain for a majority of Southern California and Southwest United States, especially Southern California and Southern Nevada, 2 to 4 inches of rain for California, 2 to 3 inches of rain for Southern Nevada here. That's really what we're looking at here with for rainfall. And again, this doesn't really seem like a lot, but when you get a lot of rain falling over a short amount of time, the ground is hard, the ground is not able to soak this water up very quickly, and so it's going to run off. It's going to run off, and it's going to cause flooding, and it's going to cause problems. So for southern portions of California, we actually have a high risk of flooding. A large area of moderate risk and a smaller area high risk flooding, where those isolated areas could see 8 to 10 inches of rain from this storm. I'm actually gonna go outlooks. And I'm gonna turn off whatever, I don't care. I just need to see this. That's all I need to see. So this is what we're looking at. We have the high risk of flooding down here, a much larger area of moderate risk, a slight risk, and a marginal risk of flooding. So Los Angeles, there you are right there. Looks like half Los Angeles is in slight risk and moderate risk, but definitely for southern portions of Southern California, certainly you have a high risk of flooding. That's where you're going to see your isolated areas, 8 to 10 inches of rain. Majority, you're going to probably see 2 to 4 inches of rain in this area. And up here, really in this entire area, I think you're going to see 2 to 4 inches. Isolated areas can see 5 inches of rain. Getting down here, you're going to see, 4 to 6 inches of rain. Isolated areas getting 8 to 10 inches of rain. So significantly, we're going to see a significantly larger amount of rain from this storm in these southern areas, in these smaller areas. Down here in south central California, we're going to see much heavier amounts of rain. And if this does make landfall in California, I think this will be the first time since 1939 a tropical storm has made landfall in California. Like the tropical storm of 1939. Absolutely interesting. Alright, other than that, the flooding is going to be the biggest threat. That's what we're watching. But as of right now, we don't have much of anything else. I think that's pretty much it. Day 2 and then day 3. Okay, the storm is going to start quickly moving north and make its way into, again, it's going to be moving quickly north. But I want to take one last look here at the satellite imagery of this storm. Actually, let's look at global models again. And instead of total precipitation, better idea of the intensity with this storm. Forgetting that's not how this works. 24 hours out from now, 48 hours out. There it is, right off the coast. 48, and then 72. You can see it making its way here. This is the GFS. Looks like it actually, center looks like it makes landfall there in Los Angeles. I'm actually going to bring this back to 66. Yeah, it looks like it kind of just rides the coast right into Los Angeles. Kind of see where the center's at. A better idea to look at where the center is taking a look at this is total precipitation. So the center can move right here, but all the heaviest rain is going to be off to the east. So where you see all the heavy rain, just move that over a little bit, and so we could actually see this possibly right through here. It's really going to be hard to tell exactly what this is going to make landfall. This is temperature. I mean temperature, just precipitation fast. Go back to the satellite, Eastern Pacific, and then take a look here at this. So really, I'm probably going to wrap this up here because I have to make sure I get to work. So that's really going to be it for today, guys. Biggest threats with this system right here is going to be heavy rain and flooding from this, storm surge, and swells and rip currents for Baja California Peninsula and Southern California are very, very likely. Flooding is going to be imminent over the next several days for California and the southwestern United States. Right now there it stands at 942 millibars, 145 miles an hour, gusts of 175 miles an hour. This is your latest update from the Hurricane Watch Team, your source for cyclone information. As always, stay safe out there. Peace out.